Hello students, welcome to the course on solid state. So in the previous lecture, we discussed about the classification of crystalline solids. There, the crystalline solids are classified into four different types. Those are molecular solids, ionic solids, metallic solids, and covalent solids. And in molecular solids, they are further classified into three types. Those are polar molecular solids, non-polar molecular solids, and hydrogen bonded molecular solids. So now we will move to the next type of a crystalline solid, that is ionic solids. So this is the second type of the crystalline solids. So these ionic solids, as you already know, the crystalline solids are classified on the basis of attractive forces or intermolecular forces which are acting between the particles, which constitutes the solid state. Now, the ionic solids, here the constituent particles are ions. Means ionic solids are made up of ions. And in between these ions, the binding force or attractive force which is present between the ions is Coulombic force or electrostatic force. Since the ions are charged particles, so that the force of attraction which is present between the charged species is said to be electrostatic force. This kind of binding force is present between the ions of the ionic solids. Okay, or we can also say it as Coulombic force. And here these are hard and brittle in nature. So usually these are hard, and upon beating they will cut it into two pieces. Okay, so they are brittle and they are hard. And the next characteristic of ionic solids is these are poor conductors in solid state. Poor conductors in solid state. Okay, means they will not conduct electricity when they are present in solid state. But here when they are present in molten state or in aqueous solution, they are good conductors of electricity. So when they are present in aqueous solution or present in molten state, okay, then they act as good conductors. So why? They will not conduct electricity in solid state, but when they are present in aqueous solution or molten state, they act as good conductors. It is because when they are present in solid state, the ions are held by strong electrostatic forces. So hence the ions are not able to move from their original position. But when they are dissolved in an aqueous solution, or when they are heated and upon melting, the ions will move away from each other and ions become free. Due to the movement of ions, they are able to conduct the electricity. So hence the aqueous solution, in aqueous solution or in molten state, they act as a good conductors of electricity because the ions become free and hence conduct the electricity. So this is one of the special case in case of ionic solids. Why the ionic solids are good conductors or bad conductors in solid state but good conductors in aqueous solution or molten state. If question asked like this, then we have to answer that because due to the movement of ions or ions become free in aqueous solution or molten state and hence they will conduct the electricity. Okay, and The examples of these kind of solids are NaCl, KCl, etc. Usually the salts, some of the salts like NaCl, KCl, KNO3, okay, all these are examples for anionic solids. So these are some characteristics of ionic solids. That is the second type of crystalline solids. The next third type of crystalline solid is metallic solids. So these are the solids where the constituent particles are metal ions. Okay, here the metallic solids are made up of metal ions or positive ions. Okay, because usually metals are electropositive and forms the positive ions, and these are also known as kernels. Okay, kernels. So the constituent particles in the metallic solids are metal ions or positive ions, or they are also called as kernels. And in these metallic solids, usually these are hard or they may be soft. You will get the metallic solids. Some of the solids are hard in nature and some of the solids are soft in nature. And the another characteristic of metallic solids are these are malleable and ductile. So one of the important property of metallic solids, that is the metallic solids are malleable and ductile. So what does this malleable and ductile means? Malleable means when we can take the metallic solid and upon beating it will get converted into thin sheets. Okay, thin sheets can be made by simply beating the metallic solids. So that property is known as malleability. That can be shown by metallic solids. And ductile means they can be drawn into thin wires. Okay, by using metallic solids we can convert them into wires, and hence that property is known as ductility. That is shown by metallic solids. Hence the metallic solids are malleable and said to be ductile. So this is one of the unique property which is shown by metallic solids. Then third one is these are good conductors of electricity as well as heat. Okay, the good conductors of heat and electricity, these metallic solids. And the examples for the metallic solids are, for example, Fe, copper, nickel, etc. So all the metals are examples for metallic solids. And the type of attractive force which is present between these metallic solids is metallic bond. Okay, so here the attractive force which is present between the metal ions is said to be metallic bond. So these are certain characteristics of metallic solids. Next, the fourth type of crystalline solid is covalent solids. These are also known as network solids because the atoms which are present in covalent solids, they will form a network-like structure. A huge network-like structure will be formed, and hence these are considered as network solids. And some of the characteristics of covalent solids are, here the constituent particles are atoms. Okay, so covalent solids are mainly made up of atoms, and these are also considered as giant molecules, and these are extremely having high melting point and boiling point. These solids have extremely high melting point and boiling point, means compared to other three types of crystalline solids, those are molecular solids and ionic solids and metallic solids. Compared to those three, covalent solids are having very high melting point and boiling point. And the other characteristic of covalent solids is these are extremely hard in nature. Okay, extremely hard as compared to other three solids. For example, diamond. Diamond is an example of a covalent solid and it is extremely hard. You can also say diamond is hardest substance on the earth because it will form a network structure. Due to that network structure, the diamond becomes the hardest substance on the earth. And another example of covalent solids is graphite and silicon carbide, etc. So these are certain examples of covalent solids. Here, the diamond is hardest substance but poor conductors of electricity. So usually covalent solids are bad conductors or poor conductors of electricity, heat and electricity. But one exception is there, that is in case of graphite. Because the graphite is a good conductor of electricity as well as it is soft. As here mentioned that the covalent solids are extremely hard and diamond is hard and silicon carbide is also hard substance. But graphite is soft and exhibit a good conductor, acts as a good conductor of electricity. It is because the graphite has delocalized pi electrons. Okay, graphite has delocalized pi electrons which are free, or you can also simply mention that it consists of free electrons. Due to the presence of free electrons, graphite will act as a good conductor of electricity. So you have already learnt the structure of graphite in first PU, where you know that each carbon is surrounded by 3 other carbon atoms. And you know the valency of carbon is 4. That means 4 valence electrons will be present around the carbon. But 3 are shared with other carbon atoms, but 1 electron will remain free, and hence that free electron will move from one place to another place, and hence it is able to conduct the electricity. So graphite acts as a good conductor of electricity due to delocalized pi electron or due to presence of free electron. And also graphite is soft. It is because it has a layers, one by one layers are arranged on each other, and those layers of graphite are able to slide on one another. Due to that sliding of layers of graphite on one another, that makes graphite soft. Okay, so this is the reason why the graphite is soft. Due to the sliding of layers on one another, the graphite becomes soft, and due to presence of free electron, the graphite acts as a good conductor of electricity. So these are certain characteristics of covalent solids and all about the types of crystalline solids. Those are molecular solids, ionic solids, metallic solids and covalent solids.